Hey, good evening. I thought I would do a quick little, just kind of a video as I lay here recouping from a heart attack. I think back on when people have, when they're talking or when they have arguments or when they're trying to get points across or heated discussions and stuff. And the times that I've had people look at me and go, "We always think you're right." Or something like that. And I have to laugh, and I've said this a million times over, but I don't think I've ever talked about it on this. It's not up to me. I mean, for the most part, nothing is up to me. And I've kept that in the forefront of my mind. There's certain things that you have control over, and all the rest, nothing. You don't have control over them at all. Or you've got minimal control, and other people have control of part of it, and unless you have a meeting in the minds, you're going to battle. But going back to the, I guess it's how do you deal with reality? I'll say it that way. How do you deal with reality? And the way that I've learned, that I've been taught, that I've had the learning experience to filter because of a vast array of dark and light shit that's gone on in my life. How do I deal with reality? Is I remove myself from it. I remove my own prejudgments from it. Plain and simple, I don't have control over it. Many things I don't have control over. And a lot of people that I see that get into these arguments or looping or get pissed off about things over and over and over again is strictly on that level. And I just look and it just shakes my head. And yet when they turn around and look at me and go, "Well, yeah, you always seem you're right." It's like, no, I don't. We both look up at the same sky. And if I say it looks blue, it looks blue. It may be a different shade of blue that you see, but it's blue. But there's a reason why it looks blue. There's a scientific reason why. It has nothing to do with me whatsoever. It wasn't anything I learned back in school. Wasn't any job I ever had that changed the dynamic of that. Okay? And I kind of run with that same thing on a lot of lines. And I mean, those lines can go deep into faith. When I looked into faith, and I looked at all of the storylines, and I looked at all of the historical figures, and the chronology of them all. And then I wrap my head around, is it something I'm looking for, or truly if there's something bigger than myself, which faith addresses that And the more I started diving into it, yes, I grew up in a Christian culture. But if you applied this whole principle to somebody who grew up in a different country, not in a Christian culture, those principles still apply. And so that's how I ended up coming to accept the Christian faith. That's how I came to accepting Christ in my life. That's also, because of my experience, how I can turn around and go, man is fallible. The Christian church is prone to falling. And I may be wrong, but all things point to Jesus. Plain and simple. Everything pointed to that. And it wasn't like he's bashing anybody over the head and saying, you need to listen to me. You know, I heard it said that God basically said, I'm going to do some great wonders and some great things, some beautiful things in the world. I don't need you. I want you. And that spoke volumes about the humility, about the honesty, the sheer honesty of that faith. Now, yes, it has its denominations. There's no doubt about it. But, once again, man is fallible. And if we have that element of humility in ourselves, we can stop, look, and listen a lot faster than most people. We can turn around and hold our hands up and go, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. Humble enough to turn around and go, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Than most. And so in conclusion, how do you face reality? With a smile. With a smile. And a hope and a prayer. And if it's a blunt, stark reality right in front of you, then you do it with compassion, empathy. But you also have to do it with the discernment to realize that, hey, I will have help to this certain point. But after that, you're going to have to prove to me that I'm supposed to be here and be doing something longer. Does that make sense? So, I don't know. I just felt the need to say these things. Once again, this is the way it's starting to come out these days. More so than writing. And I know I'm not a great orator. And I don't speak to a lot of people. I'm just myself. But if you were to ask me, you know, or if you were to tell me, yeah, but you always seem like you're right, I'd be the first one to go, no, I'm presenting what is right. And if you got something contrary to bring to the table, bring it. Let's examine it so we get this figured out ourselves. Who knows, maybe we could come up with the most brilliant epiphany together, you know. So yeah, that's it. On a Friday night, recouping. Got nothing but love for you. Nothing but love. And I wish you all sweet dreams.